In the last 2 episodes, we uncovered 14 of the most powerful, ruthless, and controversial laws from the 48 laws of power. We saw how influence is built, how enemies are destroyed, and how power is silently controlled. But that was just the beginning. In part 3, we're going even deeper, revealing 7 more laws that expose the hidden mind games, manipulative tactics, and elite power moves that the most successful people in history have used. But be warned, these laws will change how you see power, control, and human behavior forever. Have you ever wondered why some people always rise to the top while others get crushed? That's no accident. It's strategy. And today, we're uncovering the deadly mistake most people make with their enemies and how to make sure you never become a victim of power. Let's begin. Law number 15, crush your enemy totally. What's more dangerous, an enemy you can see or an enemy hiding in the shadows waiting for revenge? Most people make the mistake of showing mercy to their enemies, thinking they will forget and move on. But the truth is, a weakened enemy is still an enemy, and given the chance, they will strike back. That's why law number 15, crush your enemy totally, is one of the most ruthless yet essential laws of power. A half-defeated enemy is still a threat. If you leave them with power, pride, or resources, they will wait for the right moment to destroy you. Remove all chances of their return or prepare to face them again. History proves this law over and over again. Great rulers, military leaders, and even corporate giants have fallen because they left their enemies breathing. The moment you show weakness, even for a second, those you thought were defeated will rebuild and come back stronger. If someone is a threat to your success, remove them completely. If someone tries to damage your reputation, ensure they lose all credibility. If someone challenges your position, leave them with no way to return. This law isn't about seeking unnecessary destruction. It's about making sure threats don't come back to haunt you. Because in the game of power, mercy is often a weakness that costs you everything. Law number 16. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Is more terrifying a powerful enemy or an unpredictable one? When people know your next move, they can prepare, counter, or even destroy you. But when they have no idea what you're going to do next, they are forced to stay on edge, constantly guessing, constantly unsure. And uncertainty? That's where real power lies. That's exactly what law number 17, keep others in suspended terror, cultivate an air of unpredictability, is all about. Predictability makes you weak. If people can anticipate your actions, they can control you. Keep them guessing and you stay in control. Look at the most powerful leaders, warriors, and strategists in history. They never let anyone fully understand them. They were erratic, unpredictable, and impossible to pin down. And because of that, their enemies lived in constant fear. Here's why this works. If you're always predictable, people will learn to manipulate you. If no one knows your next move, they will always be off balance. If people fear what you might do, you hold the power without even acting. This law isn't about being reckless. It's about keeping control. Surprise people. Break patterns. Make them wonder. Because when people don't know what to expect, they'll always be on guard. And you'll always have the advantage. Because in the game of power, uncertainty is fear and fear is control. Law number 17. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous and you feel threatened. What's your first instinct? Most people think that pulling away, cutting people off, and isolating themselves will keep them safe. They believe that by avoiding the outside world, they can protect their power. But in reality, isolation weakens you. It makes you vulnerable. That's exactly what law number 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous, warns us about. The world is filled with dangers, but cutting yourself off will only leave you blind and defenseless. Strength comes from connection, influence, and information, not from hiding. History proves this law over and over again. Kings who locked themselves in their castles were overthrown. Businesses that refused to adapt were destroyed. People who isolated themselves lost their influence. Why? Because when you isolate yourself, you lose touch with reality. You stop seeing dangers coming. You stop building alliances. You become an easy target. Instead of hiding behind walls, do this. Stay connected. The more people you know, the more protection you have. Gather information. Power comes from knowing what's happening around you. Build alliances. You are stronger when you have people who stand by your side. This law isn't about trusting everyone. It's about not making yourself an easy target by standing alone. Because in the game of power, isolation is not safety. It's a slow death. Law number 18. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Have you ever seen someone pick a fight with the wrong person and completely ruin their own life? Some people forgive and forget, but others, they hold grudges forever. They wait for the perfect moment to strike back, and when they do, it's devastating. That's why law number 19, know who you're dealing with, do not offend the wrong person, is so critical. Not everyone reacts the same way to insults or attacks. Some will brush it off, others will quietly plan your downfall. Before you make a move, understand who you are dealing with. Many people think they can say or do anything without consequences until they cross someone who is ruthless, patient, and strategic. History is full of stories of people who underestimated their opponents. A powerful ruler humiliates a general years later. That same general overthrows him. A businessman mocks a rival soon after. His company collapses because of a silent revenge plot. The mistake? Not understanding who they were dealing with. Before you challenge someone, ask yourself, do they have the resources to strike back? Are they the type to hold grudges? Could they destroy you if given the chance? Some fights are not worth the risk. If you must attack, make sure your enemy can't recover. But if they have power, influence, or an unshakable ego, it's smarter to walk away. Because in the game of power, one wrong enemy can end everything. Law number 19. Do not commit to any only. Have you ever seen someone destroy their potential because they tied themselves to the wrong person, cause, or group? People will always try to pull you into their battles. They want you to choose sides, to fight for their cause, to dedicate your loyalty to them. But the moment you commit, you lose a powerful advantage: freedom. That's exactly why law number 20, do not commit to anyone, is essential for maintaining power. The moment you commit, you give up control. Stay neutral, play both sides, and let others fight while you remain untouchable. Look at history. Kings, politicians, and business leaders who remained flexible survived, while those who tied themselves to one side often fell with it. The most powerful people never let others dictate their choices. They stay above the chaos, weighing their options, and using both sides to their advantage. This law doesn't mean you should never form alliances. It means you should never be blindly loyal. If two rivals seek your support, let them compete for your favor. If people pressure you to take sides, remain neutral until you see who truly benefits you. If a movement, company, or leader falls, make sure you're not tied to their fate. Power belongs to those who remain independent and adaptable. So instead of choosing sides, make others fight for your loyalty and never give it away for free. Because in the game of power, commitment is a trap and freedom is the ultimate advantage. Law number 20, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Have you ever noticed how the smartest people don't always act like they're the smartest in the room? That's because they understand a powerful truth. When people think you're harmless, they let their guard down. They reveal their plans, expose their weaknesses, and underestimate you. And once they do, you control the game. That's exactly why law number 21, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber then your mark is one of the smartest strategies for gaining power. People love to feel superior. If you let them believe they are smarter than you, they will lower their defenses. And that's when you can strike. Most people make the mistake of always trying to prove how intelligent they are. They dominate conversations, show off their knowledge, and correct others just to feed their own ego. But in doing so, they make enemies and reveal too much. The real power move? Act a little naive. Let others think they are leading while secretly you are in control. Pretend to need advice, so they unknowingly reveal their strategy. Never show your full intelligence until the moment is right, then strike with precision. This law isn't about actually being dumb. It's about appearing harmless, so others never see you coming. Because in the game of power, the person everyone underestimates is the one who wins in the end. Law number 21, use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. What's stronger, a tree that stands rigid in a storm or one that bends with the wind? Most people think strength is about fighting back, standing firm, never backing down. But sometimes the smartest move isn't to resist, it's to surrender strategically. When you give in at the right moment, you can regain control and strike. When the time is right, that's exactly why law number 22, use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power is one of the most underestimated strategies. When you are weaker, never fight for the sake of pride. Instead, surrender, step back, and wait. Let your enemy become overconfident, then use their own strength against them. History proves this law time and time again. Great warriors, strategists, and leaders have survived impossible situations not by resisting, but by appearing to submit only to return stronger. When someone tries to provoke you, don't react, let them expose their own weakness. If a situation is against you, step back, observe, and plan your return. If you are outmatched, appear defeated, so your enemy drops their guard, then strike. This law isn't about giving up. It's about playing the long game. A wise warrior knows that the battle is never about one moment, but about winning the war. Because in the game of power, sometimes the strongest move is to let your enemy think they've won. And that was just 7 more laws of the 48 laws of power. But we're not done yet. The deeper we go, the more we uncover the brutal truth about how power really works. In the next part, we'll reveal even more dangerous, strategic, and eye-opening laws that the elite use to control the world. Want to master all 48 laws? Check out my playlist. Every part is there waiting for you. Don't stop here. Power favors those who seek knowledge. See you in the next one.